Yeah, no more bonds and trend point. Okay. No, ARM did not merge with Intel. Intel might have been an investor in ARM. We'll talk about ARM a little bit. What was amazing about the ARM deal was that their competitors and their partners were the main investors in the IPO as opposed to high net worth individuals. Never saw anything like that. They even asked their partners and competitors to be in on the deal early. Very strange, but it's going to be priced probably 51, and we'll see if it can hold up. But today, we're going to learn a little bit better skill than just looking at IPOs. We're going to learn how to build a watch list based on stocks that I expect to go higher in the next 2 to 10 days. So that's kind of the time frame. We're going to talk about good old-fashioned stock trading, nothing fancy, just buying a stock, let it go up a couple points, and then sell it. And we're going to put together a watch list today live and plan on making some great trades with this. But this is just straight, good old-fashioned stock trading. And the key is finding the right stocks that are going to go up. So thank you for attending this training. My name is Jack Carter. If this is the first time you've been with me, I want to thank you for being on here. I hope you learned something pretty good. That's what this is all about. So we're going to just talk about building this watch list, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background on all this thing. So long time ago, I took 25 grand. I put it in an account at Schwab. I traded 2 or 3 times a week for about an hour at a time. And at the end of 1 year, I took all these trade confirmations down to a CPA, and he gave me a compilation report that showed the account was up 268% in the year. And what I was doing was I figured it all out after I got this compilation report back. I spread out all these confirms all over my pool table and the bar I had in my house and tried to figure out what is the common threads with these big winning trades. So we'll just start off right there with that. I went back, I found out what was working and why. That's an important thing. When you're good at trading a strategy, you want to know, why are you good? So in analyzing the trades from all the different strategies I used when I made that 286%, I discovered what was really happening with my best trades. And I discovered that I made the largest, fastest, and easiest profits when I did one very, very, very simple thing: buy high and sell higher. Now, I know that's the exact opposite of what all the other experts tell you. Buy low, sell high is the mantra of Wall Street. But that didn't work for me. And the reason is because I don't know how to buy low. I don't know what is low. That's an impossible thing for me to figure out. But high, I could figure that out. What is high? Buy high, sell higher. I want to buy a stock, jump on an already moving train, and then sell it when it goes up a little bit. That was working for me. Buy high, sell higher. That's the main thing. And once I discovered that, that led me to my second big discovery, which was, how do you find the stocks? That's what we're talking about today. How do you find stocks that you can buy when they're high and sell when they're higher? So whenever you look for a stock to trade, there's only 2 paths you can take when you go to find this stock. And those 2 different paths are using fundamental analysis or using technical analysis. Now, in other words, you're going to use a predictive view or a reactive view. The guys doing all the fundamental analysis, they read all this stuff, the company press releases. You ever go into an analyst's office, they got stacks of papers piled to the ceiling, analyst reports. What a joke those are. They got all the information you can have in writing, and they read these company quarterly reports, which are just a joke. And from all this information that they read it and they try to come up with a prediction of a stock's price movement. So fundamental analysis is based on predicting a stock's price movement based on stuff you read about the company. Now, fundamental analysis is a total waste of time. Don't ever waste your time doing it. I don't at all. I don't read anything of it. Now, there's two reasons fundamental analysis is a total waste of time. The one is you don't want to spend all that time reading it because it doesn't really pan out. And the reason it doesn't pan out, the fundamental stuff, is because in this day and age, all the fundamental information is already built into the stock's price. Now, back in the 80s and early 90s, that was not the case. There wasn't always everything known about the company wasn't built into the price of the stock. But in today's internet age, everything you can know about it is built into the price of the stock. And that leads us away from fundamental analysis and into technical analysis, because technical analysis is reactive, not predictive. And that's what I like about it. So I don't try to predict anything. I simply react to a stock's price movement. If I see a stock trending higher, I just buy that stock at the market, right? That's it. And we'll talk about the exit strategy after we get on. But I just keep it so simple. It's ridiculously simple. So the first thing that I did that dramatically improved my results was to stop trying to find stocks based on word of mouth or somebody giving me a tip or fundamental analysis or reading anything about it, and only using technical analysis to find stocks and decide when to get out. Now, that's so true. I'm going to show you a stock that I just traded, and I never even bothered to find out what the company did. And I don't really want to know what the company does because I'm not a long-term investor. In some cases I am. Some cases with these trades, I'm not. I don't care what the company does. I'm not in it long enough to even bother with knowing what it does. I got that 2 to 10 day time frame. That time frame could be a little bit longer if it's a runaway winner, but if I'm only going to be in 2 to 10 days, I don't care what the company does. The other reason I don't want to know what the company does is because I'll probably talk myself out of the trade. Once I know what they do, I'll think, oh, that's terrible, right? Once I know the business they're in. Like the last trade I did that was really awesome, COCO. And I like the symbol, but I didn't want to bother knowing what the company did. Then I found out what the company did. They sell coconut water. And I don't know anything about that, but it turns out it's a pretty hot thing. So, when I go to find out what the company does, I just want to talk myself out of the trade. So I don't even bother, in most cases, when I'm trading, bothering to look at what the company does. Now, when I'm talking about technical analysis, I mean strictly using a stock's chart to see the trend. And what is a trend? It's a series of higher prices over time or a series of lower prices over time. Both trends up or down are good, but we want to trade the same direction as the broad market. So that's what a trend is, a series of higher prices over time. And I have my chart set up with color-coded daily bars and trend indicators. So using these charts can help us filter out the stocks. This way, when you type in a stock and you got your chart set up, you can just tell immediately if it's in a good trend or not. And as far as timeframes on the chart, I like the 6-month chart. I think that gives me the best view. Now, the reactive part that we're going to use in this technical analysis is pattern recognition. Right now, if I could take a stock trend and take that and embed that trend in your brain, so when you see that trend, you react by just buying the stock, then I'd give you a trend that looks like that. That's as good of a trend as you're going to get. So what we're looking at here is daily bars. I love daily bars. It shows you the open, the high, the low, the close is the right hash, the open is the left hash, the high is the top of the bar, the low is the bottom of the bar. So with my bars, I got it set up that a higher daily high is a higher daily high and a higher daily low. That's a blue bar day. A higher daily high or a higher daily low, but not both, that's a yellow bar day. Now, on top of that, daily bars, I've got these trend points. These are indicators. This is a short-term indicator. This is a long, intermediate-term indicator. This is the long-term indicator. Now, when a stock is above all 3 trend points, it's bullish, right? If it's trapped between trend points, then it's trapped. It's going to go sideways. And if it's below all three trend points, then it's bearish. Now, like I said, I like the bar charts. They're easy to read. I got them color coded, as I said, and you can just see from there how much these stocks trend higher. Now, also added to the charts, I got these three trend point indicators. That's a short-term trend point, intermediate term, long term. And this part is critical, right? When we use the software, it's already pre-programmed. I'm going to show you my software, and you might end up using it too. But these three trend points form the foundation of my entire system. Plus, as you saw, these trend points will show you the direction of the trend, right? This is a beautiful trend going higher. Now, with your chart set up this way, it's going to be infinitely easier to use this color-coded system that we're going to use. So let's go into trend point. Can everybody see the trend point screen? How about now? Okay, thank you. Now, here's a big key. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback. Now, here's the thing you want to do all the time is what I call the very first step is we want to always trade in the same direction as the broad market. And my research says you're going to improve your odds of success by 85% just by trading in the same direction as the broad market. Now, what is the trend of the broad market, and how do you put your fingers on the pulse of the broad market? Well, here's how you do it. I like to start off with either SPY or DIA. We'll use both of those today. I got DIA typed in here. The start date, this software defaults to a 6-month chart, but you can change the date any way you want. Then you just click chart. And as you see, the Dow Jones is barely above all three trend points. So technically, it's slightly bearish. It's not ragingly, technically it's slightly bullish. It's not ragingly bullish, but that's what trend point says it is. So from that, we know one part of it. Now let's look at SPY. This is a ETF that tracks a bigger index of stocks, 500 stocks in the S&P 500. And that's also slightly bullish. Now we saw a real nice trend here back from April all the way up here to July. Then things kind of got sort of soft. And what it looks like now is it's going to start to get back going higher. So we looked at DIA, we looked at SPY, then we look at QQQ. This is going to give us the tech market. And that's also slightly bullish. They all three kind of almost look identical, okay? Now, we're going to build a watch list today, and you can put this watch list in here. You just type in any symbol you want if you have trend point. Now, we know that the markets are bullish. So if the market was bearish, we'd be looking at these stocks trending lower. And since the market's trending up, we're going to look at these stocks. Now, this list here is from the end of day data yesterday, and this list here is from the intraday data today. That's a new feature that we added to trend point. So now that we know the broad market's going up, we're only going to stay with the stocks going up, trending higher. And we'll start off with the very first one, Amazon. And that looks like a great trend to me. Now, the other thing I forgot to tell you about this is that trend point runs off of a data feed that I have from all the major exchanges. And what it's looking for is a stock that made a new 52-week high. And the reason for that is because in all of my research, that is the single best place to start to buy high and sell higher, right? We want to buy high. What's the single best way to buy high? When a stock hit a new 52-week high. Now, from that, just because it hit a new 52-week high, that doesn't mean it's good to trade. It also has to have a 6-month trend, preferably behind that new high, to substantiate that new high and to show, as we see in this trend, that it's going higher. Now, I like this one. I would put this one on my watch list or probably just go buy it at the market. I wouldn't buy it at the market if it had 4 blue bar days in a row, because then it's already made the kind of move that I want to get when I get in, not after I get in. So I would put this one on my watch list, or I would just go buy the stock at the market. I'm more inclined to simply buy a stock at the market than I am to put it on the watch list. That's just me personally. But today we're going to learn how to build that watch list. So this one would be on it. Then we go down here to the next one. That looks awesome too. I think this one's going higher. This is APO. I'd put that on my watch list. Now this one, BKLN, this is the type of stock we're going to try to get out of trend point. This doesn't do anybody any good. 6 months of doing nothing. So even though it's made a new high, it doesn't have a trend, right? Now, we don't want to get on this one either. That's not a good trend. This is simply a gap up in price, and that gap is going to have to be filled in. But look at the elasticity of these intraday bars. Wow. Now, if you were in a stock like this at 241 and it pops to 271, it jumps 30 points, that's your sell signal. When you get an abnormal gain, get out. Get out of all of it or part of it, but get out of some of it. So I wouldn't go with this one. We got two. Oh, wow. That looks really good. The only thing, this is one I would put on my watch list because it's had 5 blue bar days in a row. Now, when I talked about the secret life of stocks, that is where you see stocks go 3 to 5 days and then take a pause for a few days and then go back 3 to 5 days. So you see it, it's all that's the secret life of stocks. And it's about one of the most bankable things you can take away from this training. So we see that all the time. And now we got those 5 blue bar days. So I wait till this one possibly did a pullback, but this is a great trend. You see how it's just really awesome. So that'd be a good watch list stock. Now that one wouldn't be. That's a little too parabolic for me. I like something that looks like a more of a 45-degree angle. Whenever I see something that's that steep, I don't think that's sustainable. Like when I showed you that picture of a trend that I would embed in your brain, that was going up for the whole 6 months at a nice 45-degree angle. This was flat, and then it's just like supercharged. Personally, I wouldn't do anything with that one. I wouldn't do anything with this one. That just does not look like a good trend. Or that one. That's not good either. Nope. Now, this has got a little volatility, but again, that's not the kind of a smooth trend that I'm looking for. No, that's okay. That's beautiful. Now, that's one I'd just go right in and buy at the market. That's probably going to go well past that $200 mark. And I'm thinking this is going to go in the next 2 to 10 days. So I'd either put this one on my watch list. It's had 4 blue bar days in a row, or I would just buy this one at the market because that last blue bar day isn't so far out of reach. So that's another one. So what do we got? We got Amazon, APO, not, nope. Yeah, we got 3. Couple we can buy right now. No, that one already shot. That's not bad. This one's been working pretty good. Oh, I like that one. I like that trade, that trend a lot. MMC. See if we can find something just super beautiful. That's not bad. I don't like these ETFs though. That's really good. That's beautiful. That's going to $100. Now, when you get this, if you have trend point and you get this where it can't come up, it says data is not available. That just means it doesn't have 6 months worth of data for the program to filter this all out. So all these stocks we're looking at, when you're building your watch list, you got to have a few criteria with that stock, with those stocks. So TrendPoint already does this for me. For me, it's got to be $15 or higher, preferably $25 or higher. I had a trade journal that I kept on all those trades I took to the CPA. And personally, I did not do good with stocks priced 15 or lower. So TrendPoint, it's looking for these stocks 15 or higher. They have to trade on a major exchange, no penny stocks, no crypto, no Forex, no ding dongs, no hoo-hos, no nothing. Just major exchange stocks. $15 or over, 500,000 shares of average daily volume. That way you got no problem getting in and out. And preferably it has options. So we'll keep going on. Not so good. Twinkie's getting bought out. That's not a good one. That's not a bad one, but that's like a baby trend. Too much of a spike. Again, now here's one thing though. When you get a crossover like this, like these indicators were below that long-term trend point, whenever you get a crossover where a shorter term trend point crosses over a longer term, that's a real buy signal right there. That's one of the most bankable buy signals I've ever seen. We're going to try to get this to just identify those stocks that have had a crossover, but that's a good thing for this one. And then we'll take a look at good old Walmart. That's a great trend. In this market, that's kind of like as good as it gets. And I think this one goes higher too. So that's how I build my watch list. All right. All right, I'll give you the symbols, David. Yeah, Rudy, some of these would be good for weekly income trades, but that's a whole nother cat. You got to find stocks that have a beta over 1 and great options where we can go deep out of the money. But just for the purposes we're talking about now, where we're just going to buy a stock and sell a stock, sell the same stock, or really what this is about is building the watch list. These would be good, but they might not be good for weekly income trades. And options on these are good too, Steve. But buying a call is not the same as buying the stock, right? And Fred says options are my cat. That's awesome. So, when we buy a call, we're going to buy one with a strike price at the money, and we're going to look for an expiration of at least 30 days out, maybe 40 days out. Now, we wouldn't hold it for 30 to 40 days. But if you buy that option with that time value left in it, that's going to be a better one for you to sell in 2 to 10 days, right? Because the buyer of that option, then he still has some time value left in it. Now, the priority on the lines that cross, Robinson, is whenever you have a shorter term trend point crossing over a longer term trend point, that is a buy signal. Now, if you have trend point and you're looking at these every day, then whenever if you see, let's try to see if we can find a crossover. I'll show you every single time it happens, the stock goes up. It happened right here. The short term crossed the intermediate. Look at these blue bar days. I don't know if I saw that many on any other stock. So anytime you see this crossover, but you got to have trend point to have it. Look at that right there. And again, kind of like right there. It's deadly. Yeah, here again, as soon as that crossed over, this will cross both trend points to the upside. Bam, takes off. Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Okay, Roger, there's nothing to download. Put your email in there. And TrendPoint is web-based, so you can use it on any computer, laptop, desktop, iPhone, tablet, anything. But there's nothing to download. This all happens behind the scenes. All right, let's look at USO. Yep, Roger, put your email in the chat, and My team will get with you. USO looks good. Bullish. Had a nice little crossover right there, and look what happened. Bang. Okay. Baker Hughes, Doug wants to see. Oh, that looks great. UGA. I don't know UGA. Looking good. Somebody wanted to see Apple. Oh, ooch. Yeah. Now, you got to look at this. You know, this is like one of the best trends in the world right here. Look at that, man. And a little bit of bad news, burble, bangle. There's a gap. Now, I told you that gap has to be filled in somewhere in the future. And look here, it filled in right there. James Lakin. All right, TSM, not good. Now, this is like below all three trend points, and this had no trend. It's just total chaos. Yeah, let's look at Goog. I'm long Goog. Looking good. That's a real nice trend. And you know, it's at that 52-week high, which is really cool. All right, DD, we'll contact you with this. BJ wants to see ice. Ah, not so much. Kind of flat. James wants to see Baba. I used to trade this thing all the time. What? No more. Yeah, that's bearish, right? This is below all three trend points. So if you ever want to know buy, hold, or sell on any stock you have, just type it in, and trend point will tell you buy, hold, or sell. This is below all three trend points. That'd be a sell. All right, John, we'll get you hooked up. Let's see Tesla. We got a couple people want to see Tesla. Ooh, doesn't look good. That's no trend at all. You know, that's just kind of chaotic. Okay, Steve. That's bullish, but that's not a good trend. Good old Visa. Yeah, look at that drop. That took a hard drop. That wasn't a bad trend, but this is that's not good. So Steve, this green point is the short-term trend point. This blue point is the intermediate term trend point, and this red point is the long-term trend point. And when you lay every day, you plot that point, it becomes like a line. We got a real nice line on this long-term trend point, but we just got too much bumbling around right here to make for it to be a good trade. All right, let's take a look at NVIDIA. I'm long Google, just telling you. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just telling you I got it. I'm long NVIDIA. NVIDIA is fallen below and is stuck. You see, here's an interesting thing. When a stock is trending higher, this short-term trend point serves as a point of support where it's going to bounce off of that. That's how accurate that point is. But when the short-term trend point is on top of it, then that point becomes a point of resistance, no longer a point of support. But I'm telling you, these trend points are deadly accurate. Look how it found support at the intermediate. Like that's like right on. Yeah, I'm going to get into this. Let's look at Meta, VRT real quick. Ooh, wow. That looks great. I don't know. Charles Cherry, yeah, that's a beauty. That's a cherry for you right there. Look at all these higher highs. Yeah, this one's about to pop again. I like this. The only thing I don't like is that gap. At some point in the future, that's got to be filled in. But right now, that looks awesome. Way to go, Charles. I don't own Meta, but this week I have a credit spread in Meta. And here's how I use TrendPoint. I use TrendPoint. It's the engine that drives the train for me for everything I do. So when I'm putting on a credit spread, I want to find a stock that was trending really great like this. And this is still going higher. And then I'm going to use this intermediate. I want to find strike prices to create that credit spread below the price of the stock. So these trend points help me with that. They're deadly accurate. That's Intel. That's not a bad stock. It's trying to get into a trend, but right now I wouldn't buy it. That's just a little too volatile without a trend. Volatility is good as long as it's got that nice trend with it. That's not good. AMD, no good. See that resistance? It's got 2 trend points above it now for resistance. That won't make it. Oh, man, that's bad looking. That's about as bad can be, Bill. It's underneath all 3 trend points, so that's definitely bearish. Mike wants to see this one. This one came up on trend point so many times. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. That thing's going way higher. And now what I was going to say is, if you have trend point and you look at it every day, sometimes you'll see the same stock on there day after day after day, which means every day you're looking at it, it's made a new 52-week high. And this CELH, it was on the list so many days. This is definitely one to put on. I would buy this at the market right there. I think it's going up. Yeah, that's not moving averages. These 3 trend points are not moving averages. It's an algorithm that it runs on. Okay, you want to see. This is a Florida utility, and it looks terrible. Dan wants to see AVGO. I'm long AVGO personally. Again, I'm not telling you to buy it. I just, full disclosure, I own it. Damn, I love this back here. Look at that. But if you own the stock here and over those 3 days it did that, what would you do? You'd sell it because that's an abnormal move higher. Look at the length of those bars. And look at the length of these bars. These are shorties. Look at that. When that starts stretching out like that, boom, get out. And then if you would have got out here, since then it's just kind of gone sideways. And the prices are up, but it's kind of trapped right here. Okay. I still own it. I'm not getting out of it. I'm going to hang on to this one for 20 years. PSX, bullish, looking good. Cop looking good. CRK, no good, BJ. Okay, Tim. Yeah, I'll get that fixed. I didn't know that was happening. Yeah, Charlie, we'll get you a new username and password. We did a bunch of upgrades. I started this in 2000. So prior to me having TrendPoint, I had people that worked for me in an office that would scan the market, looking at thousands of stocks, trying to find 3 to 5 a week. 4 full-time people looking at charts all day. And when they found one that looked good, we'd put it on our watch list, and then we'd go with it from there. But after I got that back in 2000 from the CPA, that's when I hired a project manager and I told him I want this software to do exactly what you see this is doing right here. And ever since I've had this, everything has changed for me. But we did do a big upgrade, Charlie, a huge upgrade. We changed servers, we changed data feed, we got the intraday bar. We got this set up now that TrendPoint can even send you email, right? If you want to get that list, that's the next feature that's coming out. ARM, we can't find it because it doesn't have 6 months worth of data. How old are you? Take a guess how old I am, Steve. Yeah, these are real-time charts. Who asked me if these are real-time charts? Yeah, John, these are real timers. See right here. Yeah, W day. Let's take a look at W day. This is a weird stock. That's a great trend. And I'd put this on my watch list because it's dropped down to touch that short-term trend point. Yeah, Buck, you never have to worry about an upgrade to trend point. Because I don't charge for upgrades. We do this on the back end, and you just see it appear on your screen as an upgrade. You never got to download anything. There's no fees and stuff like that. There's just one-time fee, and I'll get into that now. All right, can everybody see my screen? Says now before we log off. All right, here's how you can get this.
We see a trend point still.
Are you seeing trend point?
Yeah.
How about
There
that?
we go.
All right. Yeah, it's not a subscription. I'll tell you about that. I'm opening doors today. I'm going to try to get 25 more people that on this group. I'm glad you're in here. I'm going to open this up. So for years, I've kept my secret on how I've been able to perfect trade records with success rates north of 97% on over 100 live signals. Everything I do is based on trend point, and how I've been able to help people like Paul H. He's racked up in excess of $50,000 so far using trend point. David C. up $38,000 in 14 months. And it all comes down to these three trend points you see right here on your screen. Now, it might look dated at first, like a 1992 Atari game. You know, when I showed people this, they were like, what the hell is this, Jack? And I explained it to them, and then they loved it. And I showed it to some hedge fund guys. I said, what do you think I should charge for this? And they said 20 grand. But I'm not charging 20 grand for it. But it might look like an Atari game because I'm the Homer Simpson of the trading community, and I have to have everything basically on a fourth grade level. So I got this color coded, and this is how it works perfectly, right? You got the date down here, you got your prices on here, you got your trend points, and you got your daily bars color coded. And this gives me a huge edge.
Hey Jack, should we still see the first slide, how to build a watch list.
Oh, man. All right. Okay, hang on a second here. . How's this? Can you see that, Matt? Adam?
We see a thing by Paul H.
Yeah, okay.
That's
So,
it.
yeah, that's it. Now, I'm going to have 25 traders in this challenge that I'm starting today. And for years, I've kept this secret on how I've been able to perfect these trading services I have. And it's all been because of TrendPoint. And it's been able to help people like Paul H. rack up $50,000 in excess profit so far. David C., 38,000 in 14 months. And it all comes down to these three trend lines you see right here on your screen. That's helped me do everything. And like I say, it might look dated, but I got it color coded because that's what works for me. And what you're looking at is the secret that helped me lock in an audited 286% return. That's the one. And just this past year, it's helped me post an incredible 173% annualized return during the worst bear market since the Great Recession. This was on weekly options profits in 2022. It was terrible. The market was terrible, but we did great, and it was because of TrendPoint. And I call it TrendPoint software. And while I've kept it behind closed doors for a long time now, this software tells me exactly when to buy, how to build the watch list, when to sell it with precision accuracy. And today I want to share it with you. I want to give you guys a chance to get this. It runs on a data feed from all the major exchanges. It scans the New York Stock Exchange, Amex, and NASDAQ market using end-of-day and real-time data. And it scans for those 5 criteria, right? It's the price, the volume, the trend, and if it's already going up in price, it's what I call a 52 breakout. And that means the stock has been trending higher for a long time, but not just that, the stock is primed to break out yet again. Like what we saw with Apple this year before it went soaring on, or JP Morgan, we had that one. Now, if you're looking at these charts, not 100% sure what's going on, it's okay. And I intended it to be that way because I'm not going to, give this software away for free. But in a few minutes, I'm going to open a door for you and a few others to get in behind the scenes, behind the curtain, and get a feel for what's really going on. Thanks to my team working hard to continually update TrendPoint. It's now just one click of a mouse and you get the hot stocks to trade every single day the market's open. Plus, the new version is web-based, which means there's no downloading. There's no higher end service you got to pay for. Nothing like that. It all runs on your computer. It's in the cloud, so you can access the software from any computer, iPad, or even a smartphone. And after a few days of using this, you'll find out that it's super easy to use. And again, it's looking for that key 52-week breakout. Means when a stock reaches that certain level, Wall Street, hedge funds, and market makers, they don't want to sell the stock when it's at a new 52-week high and it's had that trend, because there's what's called a lack of overhead supply. And that's what can happen and make the stock even surge higher once it's hit that. So you have more buyers coming in and fewer sellers, and that means the stock is going to shoot higher. So that 52 breakout phenomenon, it just kind of adds fuel to the fire because there's a lack of overhead supply. Stock's just going to go higher. So this has been killing it, right? We got a 97% success rate on one service, 94% on another. It's all due to TrendPoint. Now, think about it for a minute. That's even better than winning 9 out of 10 trades. And when was the last time you were able to do that? Even the legendary investor Steve Cohen can't do that. Here's what he said. He says, my best trader makes money only 63% of the time. Most traders make money only in the 50 to 55% range. And you can still be profitable at 63 or 50 even, but you got to have the right stocks and you got to have the right strategy. And that's what you get here. So with TrendPoint, we've been even better than one of the world's greatest investors, and you can too. And now with a resource as powerful as TrendPoint, it's no shock that the few students who I have granted access to have been able to work wonders in their own trading with it, which is what I want for you as well. Like Robert, who told me, just a note to tell you how your TrendPoint software helped me. With it, in just a few minutes, I have a list of plays, all of which are live. Last year, I completely offset my loss carryover of $60,000, and I expect even more this year. Or Irv B. Trend Point is a godsend. He uses that word. I like that. Works great. I scroll around your info and charts and buy a specific stock just because the chart says buy, get out when the chart says sell. Guess that method has netted me about $40,000 in the past 12 months. I love this, Irv. This is so simple. I buy it when the chart says buy, and I get out when the chart says sell. $40,000 in 12 months doing that. Thanks for your good work. Thank you, Irv. But that's your work, $40,000. And then Pete F., $22,000 on one trade in 10 days. I made a pile of money using Trend Point. Now I'm using it to help me select stocks for options trades. One of the best decisions I ever made to help my trading was to purchase Trend Point. I think all of you would say that after you got it. And of course, those are some of the top stories of my best students. They all know that there will be winners and there's losers along the way, but there's no manual grueling work on your end anymore. There's no scouring and looking for thousands of charts. Each day, my Trend Point automatically tells me which stocks are hitting that new 52-week breakout. That way, with just a few clicks of the mouse, you can get in on one of the hottest stocks in the market right now. Then all you need to do is sell it when the software tells you to, or if you've already made a big profit, like with DHI, was on the top of the list, and just look at it go, 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 go. People picking up over 10 points per share in profit on that trade. Now imagine having my very best stocks in the palm of your hand without even having to click a single button. And that's what Trend Point is designed to do. And that's why I want to open up 25 spots for you to get Trend Point this month for my top students who are ready to start putting it to work. So if you think your name should be on that list, then I want to invite you to apply for the 25 Trader Challenge. So how this works is you submit an application, then you're able to schedule a one-on-one call with my team to see if it's a good fit for you. Now, here's why we do this. I can't just sell this to everybody. You know, the main thing for me is I want to make sure that this software can actually help you, right? That's why I have you submit an application, because if it's not a good fit, we'll just give you some trading tips and call it a day. But if it is a good fit, we'll know from the application. Then my team can go over it with you and set you up with a username and password if it's a good fit for you. That's why we do it. There's no games or nothing like that. There's no shenanigans. It's just a simple application to make sure this is really going to help you. And they'll walk you through everything you need to know about it and how to start applying it to your trading as soon as today, right now. And once you see how straightforward it really is, it should only take you about 10 to 15 minutes a day to get into the best stocks. And then it's off to enjoy the rest of your time doing whatever it is you love to do. You guys know what I love to do. I'm fishing and hanging out in Colorado all summer and Florida in the winter. And there's no more staring at charts. There's no more looking for hot tips or in chat rooms or on forums or reading some talking head opinion or downloading indicators. This is all hosted online. All you need is your login and password, and that's it. And you can access it from your couch, from the pool, which is I like to do, from the office, whatever works for you. And if you want to be one of the 25 selected this month for my 25 Trader Challenge, then you need to apply now. And the application is really easy to complete. And the fee is only a small, completely refundable $100. And the only reason we do that is to keep away the tire kickers. But it's completely refundable and there's nothing to worry about. Like I say, if you want your money, your $100 back after your call with my team, they'll do this. They'll give it to you. But I charge $100 just to keep the time wasters at bay and vet my 25 Trader Challenge to only serious folks, the people who really trade and the ones who truly want to see better results in their own account. Trend Point will do that for you. And after you have the one-on-one call with my team, you can have the $100 back. It's that simple. So if you're intrigued and you want to know how this Trend Point software has been able to radically change the way I trade, helping me lock in an incredible 97% published win rate and audited returns north of 200% annually, then click the link in the chat right now to apply for the 25 Trader Challenge. Yeah. How I decide to get out is if I get in for 2 to 10 days, I'm looking to pick up $2 to $10 per share. So once the stock has stopped going up, as I see in Trend Point, then I sell it. Or you can just look at it and say when that short-term trend point becomes a point of resistance, then you can sell it. But there's some pretty good training in here with Trend Point as well on how to set up an exit collar. So you would buy the stock at the market, you'd put in one order to sell it above your price, and you'd put an order in to sell it below your price. So if the stock runs up like expected, it runs into your sell order at the higher price, that's automatically going to cancel out the order you had to sell it below that price. So there's all kind of exit tricks I got in here. All right, Richard, you get the application. You just go to jackcartertrading.com/apply. You'll get that application there. The $100, Ed, is just to keep away the tire kickers and the time wasters. It's for the serious people, but the $100, we refund that right back to you, no problem. Yeah, so go to jackcartertrading.com/apply or give us a call, 904-416-1776. I want 25 people in here, but I want you to use it too. And I want you to give me your feedback. I got 2 videos on how to use Trend Point inside the trader training area of Trend Point. And those are about an hour long. All right, Jugga, we'll be here for you. Brian Venetz will get you. All right, Buck, beautiful. He's registered. All right, Alan, we'll get you set up. Yeah, go through the phone call with my team, and they'll talk to you about the price and how it all works in the whole 9 yards. All right, Mary signed up. That's awesome. Remember, you get the $100 back if you want it back. It's no big deal. It's just to keep away the tire. When we did this one time without it, it was just total chaos. So, this $100 fee, it just keeps the tire kickers away and the time wasters away. And like I say, you get that $100 back if you want it. So it's just to keep the riffraff out. And I know none of you guys are riffraff. That's just the process is what we're using, is to sign up, pay $100 application fee, get your one-on-one call scheduled, ask them all the questions you want. They'll get you set up with a username and password, if it's a good fit. All right, Jeffrey's in, Mary's in. Yeah, you're going to love this, man. This changed everything for me. I started trading. Oh, wow. And I got into the market in 1984, and I started my own hedge fund in the 90s with some very generous and wealthy guys. And everything was more difficult up until the time I got Trend Point. Once I got that made, which cost well into the 6 figures to get it developed, things were difficult. Things are difficult for everyone who doesn't have this, because first of all, with Trend Point, you can put your fingers on the pulse of the market, and then to be trading long or short. So you're never on the wrong side of the market once you have Trend Point. You're never at a lack for stock ideas once you have Trend Point. You never have to guess if it's a buy, hold, or sell with Trend Point. You just type it in and you look at where is the stock relative to the trend points. Give you the buy, hold, or sell right there. You can look at any stock you already own. You can use it to find new stocks. When the market's on the downside, this thing was killing it for me, finding stocks that are trending down that we could buy puts on or short it, or use those stocks going down to create credit spreads. Yeah, you could use, if you started a hedge fund, you could use Trend Point, Fred, easy. Yeah, it's, or you could just have your own little hedge fund and do it all yourself. That's the best advice. I wouldn't start a hedge fund. I wouldn't take in other people's money ever again. I would never do that again. And the reason is, just between me and you guys, is I got tired of making, especially one guy drove me so crazy. I got out of my own fun. And I just got tired of making rich pricks more rich, right? When I decided to knock down the barriers from Wall Street so the Main Street people could take advantage of that, I got much more successful feeling, satisfaction, right? Of helping Main Street traders capitalize on the elite's best strategies. That's where I got more satisfaction than running a hedge fund for rich guys and just making them even richer. And like I say, the one guy was a complete asshole, and I couldn't stand him. So I had to get out of it. It just drove me nuts, right? And I didn't even really like those kind of guys. The one guy I really loved, but those richer young guys out there, that they're just kind of a pain in the ass to work with. So I'd much rather work with people like you guys than work with those guys. And I'm totally out of the hedge fund business. I don't need that hassle, right? Just trading myself is way better. PGB, I'd say you need, a couple thousand in your trading account, because you're looking at these stocks. You can buy one share, right? Or 10 shares. You don't need a lot of money. People can do this with just a couple $1,000s in their account. Ed is ready to improve his trading. That's what I love to hear, my friend. Jeffrey's in. Mary Dieter signed up. Yeah. So if you don't have Trend Point, go through this application process and talk to my team. They'll really help you decide if this is a good fit for you. And that's what this is all about. If it's not a good fit, it's not a good fit. It's not the end of the world. We'll just part ways as friends. We'll give you your $100 back and call it a day. But if you're serious and you really want to get in on this, this is the number one tool. Every person that's in the stock market should have this. So go to jackcartertrading.com/apply, or give us a call, 904-416-1776. How about that? Yeah, we can mess around with that, Tim. We had them like that before, then we just made them thicker. So if you want them thinner, we'll play around with that too. I really have, for the first time in 20 years since I've got this software, I told you I had a project manager. He hired the coders and they put this together. And I got some new guys that are really great. Like I say, we swapped out data feed. Yeah, Alan, how long before Jack retires? Funny you mentioned that. We had a long talk about that the other day. Long talk, like an all-day talk. And I'm not gonna. Now, if I was digging ditches or running a forklift or something physical, my old man, he worked in the steel mill in Gary, Indiana. So like after 65, you physically really can't work in a steel mill. You're all worn out. But hey, all I do is tap on this. That's not hard work. I'm not going to retire. This stuff keeps my brain sharp anyway. So yeah, little Jack will take over. Yeah, little Jack. That's funny, Tim. You bring him up. He's like a mini me, but he's way more handsome than I am. But he's a trip. I should have him do a webinar one time. Little Jack has a different strategy than I have. When you know how kids are, they love money. And when I showed him Trend Point when he was really little, and I say, let's look at some stocks, and we pull up a couple stocks, and I say, oh, I really like this one. This one is going higher. And he says to me, how do you know? In a real kind of sarcastic tone. And I love that question. I told him, Jack, anytime anybody tells you about an investment or something like that, say what you just said. How do you know? And I said to him, I don't know, but the probability here is really good because of the way this stock is trending. All right, Tony just applied. Way to go. So he gets the part about the trending higher. Mary says, I'm a baby. That's funny. he gets the part about the stock trend and higher, little Jack does, but then he just has a light bulb moment where he's looking at these stocks, and I tell him what a dividend is, right? And that's where he goes crazy because, kids like money. And I said, this company, it pays you money in the form of a dividend when you're a shareholder. And that just blew him away. So now every time he looks at a stock, his sentence to me is, how much does that one pay you to own it? And I love that too. But he's a dividend investor. He loves, and he's got, like Apple, stuff like that. But he really loves the dividend stuff because he just loves to get paid. But I don't let him get paid. I let him make him reinvest that dividend into more stock because he doesn't need to be getting dividend checks at his age. Yeah. Great transition team. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, my team is awesome. Yeah, they're the best, man. They know me, they know what's going on. They're familiar with Trend Point, and they can help you get set up with this. Yeah. All right. All right, Ken, put your application in. They'll get every question you possibly could have answered. Way to go, Tony. But little Jack, he's not going to take over my business. He's going to do his own thing, just so you know. I should have him on. He could give you a little dividend webinar. He's funny and handsome. But again, I'm his grandpa, so I'm not exactly biased. All right, guys. Go to jackcartertrading.com/apply. Get on a call with my team. And the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to start having great success in the market. Yeah, you just could close it, Tim. All right, guys. Adios, amigos.